Eggs have long been considered one of nature's most complete foods, offering a compact source of essential amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats packed neatly into a small, versatile form. For decades, people have enjoyed eggs as a convenient and nutritious ingredient in breakfasts, lunches, and dinners across countless cultures. However, when individuals cross the age of 60, certain biological changes begin to unfold. Changes that significantly alter how the body handles cholesterol, saturated fat, and specific compounds found in foods like eggs. As a result, what was once harmless or even beneficial can turn into a silent risk factor capable of increasing cardiovascular dangers by up to 300% in some individuals. The challenge is not that eggs are inherently toxic, but that many older adults continue to consume them in ways that do not align with their shifting metabolic capacity. This leads to deadly mistakes, misunderstandings, and overlooked behaviors that accumulate over time, quietly damaging arterial walls, raising inflammation, and contributing to plaque buildup. The purpose of this narrative is not to demonize eggs. They remain valuable when consumed wisely, but to illuminate the deadly mistakes people make and why these errors become particularly dangerous after the age of 60. One of the most fundamental issues lies in how the aging body processes cholesterol. Younger adults typically have more efficient hepatic receptors that help remove LDL particles from the bloodstream, and their vascular walls are more flexible and resilient to plaque formation. After 60, however, LDL receptors diminish in both number and sensitivity, causing cholesterol to circulate longer in the blood, increasing the likelihood that it will oxidize and accumulate within arterial linings. Many seniors continue to eat eggs the same way they did when they were 20 or 30, assuming that because eggs are a natural food, they are automatically harmless. But a single egg yolk contains around 185 milligrams of cholesterol, and several large-scale studies have shown that the excessive and frequent consumption of cholesterol-dense foods can drastically raise the risk of heart attack and stroke among aging individuals. When older adults pair eggs with other high-fat foods like bacon, cheese, butter, and processed meats, they unknowingly create deadly nutritional combinations that multiply cardiovascular risk. Another mistake involves ignoring the role of TMAO, trimethylamine oxide, an increasingly studied compound associated with heart disease. When certain nutrients found in eggs, especially choline, reach the gut, intestinal bacteria convert them into trimethylamine, TMA, which is then transformed by the liver into TMAO. High TMAO levels have been linked to arterial stiffness, heightened inflammation, and accelerated plaque formation. Younger individuals may tolerate occasional spikes without severe consequences, but older adults, with their slower metabolic clearance and compromised vascular elasticity, are far more vulnerable. Many seniors are unaware that their microbiome composition changes with age, sometimes becoming less diverse and more prone to producing TMAO from choline-rich foods. As a result, two individuals can eat the same number of eggs, yet the older one may experience much higher TMAO accumulation. This invisible biochemical shift is one of the reasons why egg consumption can amplify cardiovascular risk by 200 to 300% in aging populations, even if cholesterol levels appear normal on standard blood tests. Misinterpreting dietary trends also contributes significantly to dangerous eating patterns among people over 60. In recent years, high-protein, low-carb, and ketogenic diets have surged in popularity. Eggs, being high in protein and low in carbohydrates, have become a staple for many attempting weight management or blood sugar control. However, older adults who adopt these eating patterns without medical supervision often increase egg intake dramatically, sometimes consuming 2 to 4 eggs daily. While their intention is to follow modern health advice, they overlook the fundamental difference between the nutritional needs of a 50-year-old versus a 70-year-old. Aging kidneys may struggle with high protein loads, and cardiovascular systems become less capable of handling sustained cholesterol intake. The trend of promoting eggs as a superfood, though beneficial in specific contexts, becomes harmful when seniors apply the advice without considering their hormonal changes, decreased enzyme production, and altered vascular physiology. Another deadly mistake stems from the way eggs are prepared. People over 60 who fry their eggs in saturated fat-rich oils, butter, or lard unknowingly worsen their cardiovascular risk. High-heat cooking can oxidize the cholesterol in egg yolks, producing harmful byproducts known as oxysterols, which are strongly linked with inflammation and plaque development. The combination of oxidized cholesterol and high heat also leads to advanced glycation end products, AGEs, which accelerate aging, contribute to stiffening of blood vessels, and impair immune response. Seniors who prefer crispy fried eggs or omelets cooked at high temperatures experience far greater arterial stress than they realize. Moreover, when eggs are consumed with refined carbohydrates like white bread, pastries, and sugary beverages, insulin spikes contribute to an inflammatory environment that makes cholesterol more likely to deposit in artery walls. This synergy of unhealthy cooking methods and poor food pairing is a subtle yet deadly pattern that many older individuals repeat daily without noticing. Portion size is another underestimated factor. Many people believe that eating 1 or 2 eggs daily is harmless. Yet research has shown that frequent consumption, even of just 1 egg per day, can heighten cardiovascular risk for certain individuals over 60, especially those with diabetes, hypertension, or a family history of heart disease. Eggs themselves are not the only issue. It is the cumulative cholesterol burden when combined with aging physiology. Seniors who eat multiple eggs in a single meal, often as part of a breakfast routine repeated every morning, subject their bodies to a steady influx of cholesterol that accumulates gradually. Over weeks, months, and years, this accumulation can result in accelerated plaque formation, leading to blocked arteries, heart attacks, strokes, or sudden cardiac death. Many older adults dismiss warnings by pointing to relatives who lived long lives while eating eggs daily, but they fail to recognize that genetics, lifestyle, microbiome composition, and stress levels vary enormously from person to person. What one centenarian can tolerate may be deadly for someone else. Another common mistake is assuming that egg substitutes or processed egg products are safer. Many pre-made scrambled egg mixes, liquid eggs, or pre-cooked egg patties contain additives, preservatives, artificial stabilizers, and excess sodium that further strain cardiovascular health. Sodium intake is particularly problematic for aging populations because it increases blood pressure, contributes to fluid retention, and weakens arterial walls. When seniors consume processed egg products, thinking they are healthier alternatives, they inadvertently increase their risk of hypertension, heart failure, and stroke. Some processed egg products also contain trans fats, one of the most dangerous substances for cardiovascular health, despite being labeled as zero trans fat, due to regulatory loopholes that allow small amounts to go unreported. Over time, these hidden additives contribute to inflammatory processes that accelerate arterial damage. Misunderstanding cholesterol science also leads to dangerous assumptions. Many people over 60 believe that dietary cholesterol has little effect on blood cholesterol levels because of campaigns promoting the idea that cholesterol in food does not matter. While this may hold true for certain younger or metabolically healthy individuals, it is not universally applicable. Seniors often exhibit reduced cholesterol clearance, insulin resistance, and other metabolic imbalances that make them far more sensitive to dietary cholesterol. What modern nutrition science truly suggests is that the impact of dietary cholesterol varies from person to person. Some individuals are hyperresponders, meaning their blood cholesterol levels rise significantly when they consume foods like eggs. Unfortunately, hyperresponsiveness becomes more common with age as the body's adaptive mechanisms weaken. Many seniors do not know whether they are hyperresponders because they have not undergone advanced lipid testing. Traditional cholesterol tests may not reveal the presence of small, dense LDL particles, oxidized LDL, or high TMAO levels, all of which are more predictive of cardiovascular events than simple LDL measurements. As a result, older adults may assume they're safe simply because their cholesterol panel looks normal, all while dangerous processes are occurring beneath the surface. Another deadly mistake is consuming eggs alongside processed meats. Bacon, sausage, ham, and luncheon meats are full of nitrates, nitrites, preservatives, and unhealthy fats that inflame arterial walls. When combined with eggs, the overall meal becomes a cardiovascular bomb, delivering excessive saturated fat, salt, and inflammatory compounds. This combination is extremely common in Western-style breakfasts, yet it is one of the most dangerous eating patterns for individuals over 60. In fact, studies have shown that the combination of eggs and processed meats dramatically increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and sudden death far more than either food alone. Unfortunately, many seniors remain deeply attached to breakfast traditions they have followed their entire lives and are reluctant to change. They underestimate how drastically their cardiovascular resilience has declined with age and do not realize that what was once harmless now poses a significant threat. Another issue arises from the farming methods used to produce commercial eggs. Many older adults assume that all eggs are nutritionally identical, but the diet of the hen dramatically affects the egg's nutritional composition. Eggs from conventionally raised hens often contain higher levels of unhealthy omega-6 fatty acids, which promote inflammation when consumed in excess. In contrast, eggs from pasture-raised hens have higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants. Seniors who consume large quantities of conventional eggs unknowingly increase their omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, a crucial factor influencing inflammation and cardiovascular health. An elevated omega-6 ratio has been linked to increased risk of arterial plaque buildup, blood pressure abnormalities, and systemic inflammation. Many people over 60 are unaware of this nutritional nuance and continue buying the cheapest eggs, thinking all options are equivalent. The reality is that poor quality eggs combined with poor dietary habits amplify cardiovascular dangers dramatically. One of the most tragic mistakes involves ignoring early symptoms of cardiovascular stress caused by poor dietary choices. Seniors often attribute headaches, chest discomfort, fatigue, dizziness, or shortness of breath to aging instead of recognizing that their arteries may be narrowing or inflamed due to their eating habits. Because eggs are commonly viewed as healthy and natural, older adults rarely suspect that their breakfast routine could be contributing to their health problems. They may visit doctors who prescribe medications for cholesterol, blood pressure, or diabetes, but without addressing food choices like excessive egg consumption, the root cause remains. Over time, plaque buildup progresses silently, and the individual may experience a sudden cardiac event that seems to come out of nowhere, even though the warning signs were present for years. This is why the risk associated with egg-related dietary mistakes is so insidious. It builds gradually, without dramatic symptoms, until it becomes irreversible. Another common mistake is failing to adjust egg consumption according to overall diet. If a senior already consumes cheese, butter, full-fat dairy, red meat, or desserts on a regular basis, adding multiple eggs to the mix creates a cholesterol overload. Many older adults eat a diet high in saturated fat and refined carbohydrates, a combination that significantly worsens cardiovascular risk. The body's threshold for safe cholesterol intake becomes much lower after 60, especially when metabolic flexibility declines. Seniors who believe they are following a moderate diet may unknowingly exceed their safe cholesterol limit because they underestimate how much cholesterol is present in everyday foods. The cumulative effect is what makes egg consumption especially problematic when combined with an already unhealthy diet. Another overlooked mistake is eating eggs at night or late in the evening. Digestion slows significantly during nighttime as the body prepares for rest. The liver, responsible for metabolizing cholesterol, also follows circadian rhythms and becomes less efficient during late hours. Seniors who eat egg-heavy meals before bedtime may experience prolonged cholesterol circulation throughout the night, increasing the likelihood of oxidation and plaque formation. Additionally, late-night consumption can lead to acid reflux, poor sleep quality, or nighttime blood pressure spikes, all factors associated with elevated cardiovascular risk. Some older adults also assume that because eggs contain important nutrients such as vitamin B12, vitamin D, and choline, they must be safe to consume frequently. While these nutrients are indeed valuable, the presence of beneficial vitamins does not negate the risks associated with excessive cholesterol and TMAO production in aging individuals. Many seniors mistakenly believe that if a food contains something beneficial, it cannot be harmful in large amounts. This oversimplification leads them to ignore the complex interplay between nutrients and metabolic changes that occur with aging. Finally, one of the most deadly mistakes is the lack of individualized dietary planning. Seniors often follow general dietary advice intended for younger adults or large populations rather than tailoring their food choices to their unique medical conditions, genetic predispositions, lipid profiles, and gut microbiome characteristics. A 60-year-old with diabetes cannot consume eggs the same way a healthy 25-year-old athlete can. Yet, without personalized guidance, many older adults continue outdated eating patterns, unaware that their cardiovascular risk is silently rising. A lack of regular medical checkups, avoidance of advanced lipid testing, and insufficient attention to dietary detail all contribute to a 300% increase in cardiovascular danger for many individuals over 60 who make these mistakes.